Welcome to Live at 7:55 for this Friday, November 10th. Thanks so much for joining us. Good morning, John Price. John says McRib is back. Now that is a hot topic. Yeah. McRib. Okay. Well, today's Friday free-for-all. We're going to talk about what you want to talk about. Do you want to talk about McRib? It's back, apparently. Or do you want something else? Good morning. Good evening, Serge. Good morning, Casey Keller. Thanks for joining us. Kind of blown away, if I can be honest. Good morning, Mike. Kind of blown away of the response I got yesterday on that one post I had, and 10 shares and 90 likes or whatever it was. It was just speaking from the heart, frankly. Good morning, Michelle. Good morning, Mike. Good morning, Tom Heath. Good morning, Alan Marshall. Tom says, Mick Yuck. So take a sip of coffee. We're prepping today for, good morning, Rob. Rob Weiner, my friend from New England School of Broadcasting days. He actually celebrated a birthday recently. So happy birthday, Rob. Yeah, the post was just organic. It was just what I was feeling at the time. And, you know, I had a previous client refer us to a bride, and, you know, those decoration site and things like that people recommend DJs on Facebook, excuse me, and things like that. And I was just, you know, overwhelmed by how many responses we got. People saying, call Tailored Weddings, you know, kind of thing. Mitch is awesome. Brad is awesome. Kaylee's awesome, you know. And yet, still no phone call. So I was like, okay. And I heard the grapevine, they thought we were too expensive. And that's okay. I get it. But it was interesting. So what do you want to talk about this morning? I kind of spilled my guts yesterday on Facebook a little bit in regards to how I felt about that situation. And thank you for liking and commenting if you did. I appreciate it. What do you want to talk about today? Today is your opportunity to chat for Live at 7:55, the Friday free-for-all. What do you want to chat about here today? We got about 3 to 5 minutes left before I have to go rock and set up for a bridal show. We have a bridal show this weekend. Of course, I'm starting my travel week. Next week, we're going to be coming to you from Indianapolis, from Salt Lake City, and from Sacramento, all different parts of next week. So look forward to the different backdrops, if you will. Not sure if it'll be a hotel room, if it'll be an airport, if it'll be car. I have no idea. We'll just have to see where we're at the time. What do you want to chat about? Put it in the chat box there. Put it down below. Let's chat about it. What specifically do you want to chat about here today? What do you talk about at your 6-month meeting? For a planning meeting, Tom, is what I'm assuming you're referencing. So really for a 6-month meeting, I don't know if I have one here. Let me see. Maybe I do. It's a little dirty. White piece of paper. Mike Walter says bridal shows are a necessary evil. Good for you for marketing yourself this weekend. Michelle Caruso says thanking all vets. Absolutely. Today is Veterans Day. And if you have an opportunity to thank a vet today, or any day, frankly, for that matter, thank them for their service. Open the door, pay their bill, do something nice. Thank a vet if you can, because they fought for our freedoms and they're still here while their brothers and sisters gave the ultimate sacrifice. So thank a vet today. Thank you, Michelle, for that sentiment and reminder. All right, so let me cover Tom's question real quick. I want to hit that from Michelle. So the 6-month meeting for me is just typically, okay, we walk through our Tailored Weddings planner that they have online with us, and then we say, okay, here's your wedding. It's a blank piece of paper. You can create whatever you want. It doesn't matter. You're only limited by your imagination and sometimes budget. So what do you want to create? And I think that is the biggest difference between us and someone else. You know, other companies will have a cookie cutter approach. And that's okay. Nothing wrong with that if that's what the client wants. But to actually create something out of nothing makes you an artist. To replicate something is just robotic. And it's okay either way. Just a question of what do you want to do. And just my thoughts this morning. Good morning. Good morning, Donnie. So we cover A to Z. What other needs might they need that they haven't thought of? We'll bring up the flow of the event. For everything, they have to ask, okay, what's going to happen next? And get them thinking of that throughout the planning process to understand fully how their day is going to be crafted and moving from moment to moment, and make sure it's a smooth flow. Good morning, Brian Harris. You are late. We'll have wet noodles be passed around here shortly for us to whack Brian with. So that's pretty much it, Tom, is where I go with it. Is we go through their information they filled out in the planning form. If they haven't filled anything out, no big deal. We'll create it from scratch. We'll take care of it there. I don't chastise them for not filling something out. Good morning, Dawson. And so we cover the bases and go through what they want to create. And I encourage them to fill out as much as they can beforehand, because then that allows us to use the meeting to get more creative for ideas versus just, going through the nuts and bolts, if you will. But it doesn't matter. Either way, we'll address it, both sides of it, the nuts and bolts, and then there's also some creative as well. So hope that helps answer your question, Tom. We can talk more because it's a little more detailed than just 5 minutes on a live, frankly, but that's the gist of it, if you will, as going through the process and specifically drilling down into each and every moment of, okay, how do you want this to feel, and who is involved, and who's going to be engaged in that moment, and who needs to be present, and what do you want them to feel, and what's going to happen next. And good morning, John. Thanks for that comment and visual. So thank you very much for watching live at 7:55. We greatly appreciate your viewership. We'll be back with you on Monday. Next week's schedule is going to be a little rough as we get towards the back end. Looks like Tuesday Monday and Tuesday will be 7:55 Eastern, because I'll still be in Eastern time in Indianapolis. And then we hit Salt Lake City, that'll be Mountain time. So it should be 9:55 Eastern. Will be Salt Lake City, 7:55 Mountain time. And then for Sacramento on Friday, it's going to be 10:55. So Wednesday, Thursday will be 9:55 Eastern, and Friday will be 10:55 Eastern. 7:55 on Eastern, on Pacific time, 7:55 Pacific time for Sacramento. Thank you very much for watching live at 7:55. Go rock your weekend. Have a great event this weekend if you're out there rocking it. Minnesota is Central Time. Yes, Tom. Minnesota is Central Time. Thanks for watching live at 7:55. We will see you next week. Have a great weekend.